G'day! In today's video I've got a HP Probook 440 G9 and this one is an Intel 12th gen and I believe it's got 8 gig of RAM in there and I want to change that to 16 because who wants 8 gig of RAM these days? So looking at the screws, this has been apart once before by the previous owner, and while we're in there I'll point out what other updates could potentially be done to it. The fan does sound a little noisy, so I think there might be something stuck in it. Hopefully it doesn't seem like a train wreck when I get in here. Ooh, that pops. And we're slightly bent right here. Bend that back. Someone. Anyway, now that we're in here, what do we have? I'm going to disconnect the battery to begin with. We have a lot going on in here right now, that's for sure. Battery, I can lift up. Seem to be missing the screws for the battery, so this seems to have possibly been apart once before. Or actually, 2 screws correspond with here and here. But then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, so we do have a bit missing. We do have an ADATA 256 gig NVMe, which to me does not look factory. That. I've undid the screw there to change the RAM over. Undo the screw, wiggle that out. That's out. So we'll slot in, pull down. And I want to see a HP part number right there. Yep, there we go. So surprisingly, that very well may be a genuine HP part. To reinstall it, we have the little notch taken out here, which we put into the gap. Push to the left. The gold pins disappear. We should be able to push it down. And screw up from there. Now, if I spin the fan here, we're going to give that a bit of a dust blowout while I've got it here. I'll lift this up. I'm going to pull these 2 tabs outwards. The RAM sits up, RAM pulls out. SK Hynix, 8 gig, DDR4, 3200 MHz. Fairly common RAM, this stuff. To install it, we take this notch and line it up with the slot, and then put it on an angle, pull down. So in on an angle, pull down to lock in. So it should be put in on an angle, just kind of bounces there, and then I push with both corners, and we click, and we're in. Now I'll grab that other stick of RAM. Not sure where I've got it sitting at the moment, but I should be able to find it. Turns out there is a lot of RAM up here. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and a lot of 4s. 4, 4. Oh, what are you? Ah, you're also a 4. A 4, a 4, a 4, and a 4. Granted, I could put a 4 in there. It will function, it will run. We'll lose the dual, won't lose dual channel, being that it doesn't have dual channel at the moment, but it will be a little bit happier with a little bit more RAM. Bingo, I think I found what I'm looking for. I reckon one of these. We are dual rank. I'm going to switch both of those over with this that came out of a ROG gaming computer. Put that in there. Push down. Line it up. Push it down. There we go. Put that back over. Now I've got a spare 8. Do also have a 32 gig here, which for this kind of machine is a little bit excessive. And what else have I got? 16. Nah. Now just give it a quick blowout. Didn't find anything obstructing the fan, so I'm going to continue on. One thing that I did spot though, we do have for a teeny tiny NVMe over here. Now that one, it's too small. These ones are too long. Because what are we, a 22? Trying to remember the model numbers of the SSDs. This is a 2280. So the next size down. It might be a 2230. No, maybe a 2240 will go there. So there will potentially be a bracket, or you can just attempt to pad it out and put it in there. It doesn't look that great in that spot. As you can see, the screw hole is over here for it. Yeah. Well, I've got it here. Looking at it, it's definitely had something going on with it. We're completely missing the screws for one hinge on this side. So this is definitely going to need a bit more of an inspection. Don't know what this last owner was doing with this machine, but I'm going to fill in the extra screws. Look here. This one goes here, one goes here, but I do need to replace this screw up here. Collection of screws here. And how many of those will be what I require? This one a try. That one screwed in just fine. What else are we missing screws for? Yep, we're good on there. Good here. That one's not needed. Also, while I'm thinking about it, we got an R3, RH03XL is the battery model in here. Okay, walking in. Go. I know, I was thinking we may be able to get a slightly larger battery, just looking over here, but no, it's really getting us not much extra whatsoever. I wonder, is screw going? Yes. Put it over here. Yes. I feel like this battery is also acting a little bit of a stabilizer, being there's screws up here and here that you kind of really don't, well, potentially help stop a little bit of chassis flex. Or at least that's what I'm going to expect. So I'll put those screws in anyway. Especially since I've already got spare screws, it makes sense. Okay. That one's a bit too long. Okay, that one's better. There we go. Snug, 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 snug. Back first. There. Push, push. It's not quite clicking in down here. There we go. Yeah, definitely seen some battles along there. Along that edge. There we go. There. Now from here, since I've upgraded that RAM, I don't have to do anything really on the computer to tell it that. More than likely HP will pop up and complain that the RAM configuration has changed, which we know it has because I just changed it. There we go. Come on. No. But you don't have to do anything extra once you've added that RAM, simply power it on and continue. Which is what I'm planning on doing right now. See if that error message comes up. Oh, the screen looks like it could almost lay flat. Now it may take a while once you change the RAM for it to actually start displaying. That is perfectly normal. The other alternative is it didn't like my second-hand RAM and doesn't want to start, of which I'll simply change the RAM one more time. Hearing the system fan kick in full. It's running full speed. There we go. Memory is different. That's fine. Press enter. Should continue. Should boot up Windows. There we go. If I go Control Alt Delete, go to Task Manager. Go here, there, memory. There we go. 3200 megahertz speed. We have 2 DIMMs totaling 16 gig of RAM. Or over here, 16 gig of RAM. Brilliant. Done. Ready to go. Hope that helps you, and see you later. Bye.